Are you looking for a resource to discuss all topics air conditioning? Well, you're in the right space. Join the Rawson boys as they discuss the hot topics and the cold hard facts. This is the Air Conditioning Podcast.
G'day guys, and welcome to another episode of the Air Conditioning Podcast, where we discuss all things air conditioning, the hot topics and the cold hard facts. Chilly morning.
Very chilly morning.
Chilly morning indeed.
Yes.
Bloody, there was ice on my car this morning.
I know, I had to get a bit of ice off the front of the windscreen today. Yeah, it's crazy.
Unbelievable. Good for work, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Phone's been ringing hot.
Ringing very hot, and that's always a positive thing.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we've got a guest coming up very soon on the show, and we'll introduce him shortly. But in the meantime, Brad, I just want to say to our listeners, thank you for sticking with us.
Thank you for putting up with us this long.
Putting up with our verbal diarrhea, as they say. And episode 14 this is now. So we are creeping up there.
Getting there slowly.
Yeah.
Taking a while, but we're getting there.
We are getting there. But just a reminder, guys, if you do or are interested in coming on the show, we'd love you to send us an email, or you can reach out to us on Facebook or any of the social media pages, or indeed our website, airconditioningpodcast.com. We'd love to have you on, and it's not about, pumping up your ego or anything like that. It's more about sharing information, and that's what we decided we'd get into this podcast for initially, was to, there's hundreds of years of bloody experience out there collectively,
Sure,
and I think if we all sort of give out a little bit of input, it helps not only the new guys, but
Hopefully we can all gain something. Yeah.
Everyone's learning. So, anyway, enough of that said. Footy's about to start.
It is tomorrow night's first game. Who's playing?
Good, thanks.
I don't know.
I know the Crows and
Probably Collingwood, isn't it?
Crows and Port are Saturday.
Yeah.
The showdown.
Yeah.
2,000 people
Yeah.
playing in that game.
Yeah.
So you'd want to be on the list, wouldn't you?
You would. Alrighty.
All right, so guys, we would like to introduce our guest today, all the way from Streaky Bay, LJ Refrigeration Air Conditioning, Justin Hotchkiss. Welcome to the show, mate.
G'day, thank you very much for having me.
Pleasure. Thanks for giving up your day to come in here. So we just wanted to learn a bit more about LJ Refrigeration and a bit more about yourself. So if we could just start by letting the listeners know a bit more about your business.
I started about 4 years ago. I was working in the mines at Olympic Dam for about 4.5 years. I got pretty tired of it. I wanted to move back to my hometown, Streaky Bay, and decided to start my own business. I didn't want to work for my old employer and just thought it'd give me a bit more free time, but I was pretty wrong about that after a while.
That's right. Soon find out.
It got pretty busy pretty quick.
Yeah.
And soon had
That's
to
always
take on a
positive.
few blokes. Yeah, no, it's been good. The last couple of years have been really excellent, being able to put on 4 or 5 extra guys, so it's been really good.
Yep.
Beautiful.
And how many guys you got working for you now?
I've got 5 of us in total, plus
Yep.
a full-time administration.
Yep. Cool. Any room to sort of expand there? Looking to expand?
I'm hoping so. I don't want to get too ahead of myself just yet. Just seeing how things go through the winter periods. But we've been pretty consistently busy over the last couple of years. Haven't had too many downtime at this stage. So hopefully I can take on another apprentice when I find the right one.
Yep.
And you're based in Ceduna?
Based in Streaky,
Yeah.
but we have now just opened up an office in Ceduna, which probably 80% of our work is in Ceduna, so it just saves a lot of travel time.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, it's a lot bigger town here compared to Streaky.
And for those who aren't familiar with Ceduna, mate, can you just sort of, I know it's about, 700 and something Ks out of Adelaide?
Yeah, so it's about, I think it's just under 800 Ks from Adelaide.
Yep.
It's a small town on the west coast. It's a lot more modern than what it used to be. Streaky Bay is a lot smaller, but it's starting to really show a lot of development now.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of new houses, a lot of new people coming in, which is really nice.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful spot. There's some of the most amazing beaches in South Australia here. So it's lots of good fishing, lots of good camping, if you like that stuff.
Yeah.
So people are building bigger shacks and homes and so forth.
We're getting a lot of people from like the eastern states building and buying homes here, and either retiring here or moving here permanently. A lot of people come here for holidays and end up falling in love with the town, and they end up moving here. There's a lot of new estates getting built.
Yeah, secret's out.
Yeah, no, the more people, the merrier. It's a nice place, and growth is always good to see in your town.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure.
And so, how far do you generally go, Justin, for your clientele? Do you stick mainly around Streaky, or do you venture?
No, we travel all the way to Western Australia. So I think the furthest we've been is Esperance. So we travel all along the Nullarbor. We do all of the roadhouses along there. So we look after Border Village, Nullarbor Roadhouse, all of those guys. They're really nice out there, and the travel's nice for the guys.
Yeah. And is that something you do on a regular basis?
Most of it is breakdown work. A lot of them don't like to, do a lot of maintenance work out there. But once if we get one job out there, we usually ring up most of the other places and let them know that we're coming. And that way they usually book in a lot of work. So we spend a week out there.
Yeah. We get some listeners sort of make reference to the fact that we do spend a bit of time talking about residential air conditioning. You guys do a lot of commercial work. Can you just elaborate on that
lately?
Yeah.
So over the last year, we've acquired a lot of commercial clients, which has been really nice. We look after all of the hotels around here, all of the service stations, all of the marine product people, like all the fish factories. So there's a lot of commercial refrigeration there. So we've had some new supermarkets pop up. So it's been really good. We look after pretty much everyone now. It's really nice.
That's great.
You just finished a big project I saw on your Facebook page.
Yeah, just finished stage one. So that was our Ceduna Foreshore Hotel. They are just redeveloping the front end of their hotel, spending a lot of money. It's a community-owned hotel. So they're enclosing like an old alfresco area to make it a little bit more user-friendly. So we're putting in 11 air conditioners in that area. It was a pretty big job. It's not much roof space, so it was a very tight run.
Challenging,
but it was it did take a lot of work. I think we probably put in about 250 hours into the first fix.
Wow.
So it's finally done. It's good.
Looked pretty neat. I saw the work on Facebook there. Looks really good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we over the years I've gotten to work with a lot of really good install guys, and I learnt off them over the last few years, and we've been really honing down on our commercial installs, which has been really good.
And what sort of systems were you putting in at the foreshore?
So we predominantly Fujitsu. So that's always our first preference. So with the foreshore hotel, every system there has been Fujitsu's.
Yep.
Commercially wise, VRF and VRV systems, Fujitsu again. But sometimes it does come down to cost for the customer. So we do offer other brands.
Yep. And being regional, Justin, how do you go with the warranty side? Do you do your own warranty work?
Yeah, so we're the warranty agent for Fujitsu, Mitsubishi, Samsung, most of all the major brands. So they just pretty much they must have just Googled us and they hit us up over the last few years, and we now just we pretty much, I think the only company that we don't have is Daikin. Other than that, we do all the warranty work for pretty much everyone else.
Fair enough.
Okay, is there a lot of that sort of work to do up there, or?
There is. The hardest part about doing regional warranty work is warranty companies don't cover travel. So we have to try and work it in when we're in the area. And, I would have to say at least 50% of our installs, there's at least 50 kilometres of travel in each way.
Wow.
A lot of farmhouses, etc. So it can be difficult to honour warranties. but the customers are usually pretty understanding that they're happy to pay the travel for us to come out and fix it. So we do try our best to accommodate for everyone, and they're usually pretty patient with us, so it's good.
I mean, that could cost you a fair bit of money, all that travel.
Yeah, it can do. So we always try and join up a lot of jobs in the area so we can split the travel up between our customers, because you do feel a lot of guilt when one customer gets charged all of the travel, especially when there's 1,000 kilometres in the travel, which is pretty common. So I think even last week, a couple of my guys, they did 1,500 kilometres each way. So
wow.
So it's quite a lot of travel.
What about parts? Do you have a parts sort of store that you try and keep your major parts in, or just order as you go?
It depends on the products. We do have a large shed with general spare parts for refrigeration. Air conditioning is on an order basis, just because there's so many different brands. It costs me a fortune to keep a lot of spare parts. But freight companies are pretty good these days. If it has to come from Sydney or something like that, it's only a couple of days turnaround time. So it's not as bad as you'd think.
Right. Yeah.
And aside from, so you're doing not only repairs and you're doing maintenance as well, obviously?
Yep. So we have a maintenance plan for all of our major supermarkets, hotels. We do a quarterly maintenance for them all, and then a yearly maintenance as well. A lot of the smaller businesses can't always afford that kind of stuff, so they usually just stick to the breakdown work, which is fine.
Do you offer that as part of your, I guess when you're doing your selling side, do you offer that as part of the service as well, to say best you get a...
Yeah, basically when I first meet the client or whatever, I'll obviously tell them about myself and the services I offer, and I explain the benefits of a decent maintenance plan, because out here I don't think I've ever heard of a maintenance plan with any business, hotels or anything have no maintenance plans out here before, and they've seen a lot better performance out of their gear since we've started doing maintenance on them. A lot less breakdowns, a lot less call outs as well, because a lot of the commercial stuff have their own maintenance guys. So as we spend more time with them doing maintenances, they learn to pick up a few things that they can sort of identify themselves.
So lighten the load a little bit for you in the summer, I suppose.
I've yet to see the light and load in summer, but
it gets pretty warm up here, doesn't it?
It gets I think the hottest we've had is 47 or something like that. We haven't had a really hot summer for a few years, but still consistently gets over 40 for quite a while.
And in your field, Justin, do you have a lot of competition up there, or is it you guys are?
Surprisingly, we've got a couple of other air conditioning and refrigeration companies in Streaky Bay that come to Ceduna, and then pretty much our other competition is companies from Port Lincoln. They every now and then they've got a lot of government contracts, so when they come down here, they usually try and offer a lot of work, and can be pretty competitive at times.
I don't know, like a fly-in, fly-out basis, or is it?
No, they'll drive down here, so they'll send 2 or 3 vans down here and do as especially when it comes to the large tenders and stuff like that, they go pretty hard on them. So and that gives them a pretty good footing in for the area, so they can spend a few weeks here and do a bit of work.
I'd imagine that being in a sort of a regional town, that word of mouth is pretty important.
Yes, definitely. Word of mouth is the biggest thing here. If every 50 good jobs you do, if you do something wrong once, it spreads faster than the 50 good jobs.
That's right.
Customer satisfaction is definitely the highest priority for you, because it doesn't take long for someone to talk at a pub, and even if it's not true, they tend to take their friend's word for it. So we do our best to make sure everyone's relatively happy.
What about builders work? Do you get much builders work up there with the new housing?
I never used to, but up until probably a year and a half ago, I do pretty much all of the major builders work. Sorry. So I've taken on work from Evco Building. They're one of the largest builders here. The Duragon builders, do a bit of work for Streaky Bay for a few builders there. It's really good.
Yep.
They've seen, that foreshore project that we were just talking about. That's run by a local building company here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of out-of-town building companies tendered for that, and it was really nice to see that a local company got it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you see any challenges working in a regional town that you would think that you wouldn't have this in a city, or vice versa?
I think the workload was the hardest thing for me to comprehend. I wanted more guys on, but I was very scared about, work dropping out and what I was going to do. So the last few years I've really focused on getting my name out there, and making sure that customers were happy with our work, and it's sort of stuck around, which is good. Because, 1 week you could have 30 jobs, the next week you could have one. So it can be, it's, a lot of my friends in Adelaide and major towns, they've just got a lot of consistent work, and can be very different out here at times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
And they come up and give you a hand at times. Is that right?
Yeah, yep. So on these couple of major projects we've been doing, we've had an absolute nightmare of breakdowns lately. So it's been hard to have a couple of guys just sitting on the projects all day long. So I've flown in a couple of my mates from Adelaide who are really good on installs and project work. One from his name's Zach, from Morphett Air in Adelaide. He's been a big help for these two projects that he's been working on.
Yep. Yeah, cool. That's
good plug for him too.
Yeah.
He's only fresh into his business, so he's just starting out himself. So it was really good to have him on board.
Yeah, nice. And so aside from obviously the importance of having word of mouth, you've got a Facebook page, Justin? Do you have any other means, or is it just primarily Facebook?
Primarily our Facebook page. We do have a website. I'm just having trouble finding someone that can manage it at the moment. So it's pretty basic. The Facebook one's a lot easier for me to manage because, it's on my phone and I can upload all the photos and stuff pretty quickly to it. Trying to find someone that manages websites out here is pretty hard, and I always try and go local first before outsourcing the work. But I'll work on that throughout the year, I think. But Facebook, and I'm just about to try and start doing some radio advertisement. But that's about it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
And so in terms of your organisation and working with your guys, do you use like CRMs? Do you have a particular platform that you might use, or do you just sort of use mobile, or how do you sort of communicate and organise your week?
We use a job management program called Tradeify. I've been using that for about 3.5 years. It's been really good. I don't lose any paperwork, and I can keep track of all my jobs. It's really good. Even today was a great example. A customer called us up from a job 11 months ago, and I was just able to pull up the file and get all the information, all the job notes the boys put on there. So
that's all cloud-based?
Yeah, it's all cloud-based. Yep. It's really fast, really easy to use. I've used SimPro and other stuff with other companies, and some of the other ones are a little bit, they're not so user-friendly, I suppose.
Right.
But this one's really easy, and all the boys seem to get it really well, and it's helped my business a lot.
Yeah. And does that link with something with an accounting package, or? Yep.
So it links with MyOb, which is what we use.
Oh, yeah.
And it's seamless.
Seamless, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. You can put all your costings into the program. So any time the boys enter materials, all they have to type in what they've used, and it automatically puts it onto the job. So it's really, really handy. Saves a lot of admin time.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And do you use it for notes and things when you're on site and taking photos and that sort of stuff, and upload straight?
Yeah. So any photos or notes on that job gets uploaded to that job, and they stay on there forever. So it's really good. You can go back to those jobs, look at all the photos, installs, asset numbers and all of that. So it's really handy.
Mm-hmm. And when your guys are out on site, probably not so much for on the commercial side, but for the residential side, do you, once you've done the service or repair or what have you, do you submit the invoice there and then, and you guys ask for payment, or how do you submit?
No, so we send accounts to everyone.
Yep.
So basically, we'll have my administration or myself look over the job before we send the invoice, and they usually get 2 weeks to pay before we send reminders, etc.
Yeah.
We do offer credit card facilities, which they can pay instantly.
Yeah. And in terms of your debt collection, do you have any issues around that by doing it that way, or do you?
Yeah, that's probably been my biggest hurdle is cash flow with customers.
Yeah.
A lot of them are good, but you know, it has gotten really bad at some points. Been a lot of money owing to me, so it's been pretty hard to keep the boys paid and stuff at times. But just been lucky enough to have a lot of good clients that pay very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what you need.
So it's been keeps you ahead. So I have got to be a little bit more onto chasing the overdue accounts, but we'll get there.
We find here that we tend to ask for the money straight away.
I actually experienced that. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep.
I had to hire a plumber for my house in Adelaide, and at the end he rang me and said, "Oh, job's done, etc., etc." I was like, "All right, mate, just send me a bill." He's like, "Oh, nah, that's not how it works. You pay over the phone." I was like, "Oh, all right." And I didn't realise. I reckon if I did that here, people would be furious.
Different. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. That's it's really the only way you can get your money here. You start sending out accounts, people just won't pay them.
I completely agree with you. It can be very difficult at times, but
or they'll just drag it out as long as they possibly can.
So that's the biggest one. We do get a lot of customers that let us know that are in a bit of financial difficulty, and I don't mind if they can let us know and they can pay bits off at a time. I'm pretty lenient that way. We do offer plenty of payment plans and stuff if they need it.
Yeah.
Keep the communication open.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And in terms of the communication with your clientele, how did, so let's say that someone's called your office and said we want to, air conditioner's not working or cool room's not working. How do you sort of manage that in a typical day to day?
Depending on our workload, it'll just get scheduled to whoever's got the least amount of work on their schedule for the day.
Yeah.
If it's a commercial client with a refrigeration system, we usually prioritise that. But if it's just a customer with an air conditioner at home, that's not as a high priority as our, people with a lot of money in their cool rooms.
Yeah.
We do cancel jobs from time to time if we do have priority breakdowns. Yeah.
Do you have much downtime, like in terms of the seasonal change, or?
We haven't for the last year, which has been really nice.
That's good.
This winter I was pretty worried. This is the most amount of guys I've had on at one time, so I was really worried that hoping we don't get a bit of downtime. But it's been really consistent lately, which has been really nice.
Did you see changes when COVID came along?
Definitely. When the COVID stuff came through, our domestic side just went from one day getting 30 inquiries a day to nothing. For about 2 or 3 solid weeks, we had no new inquiries for the domestic side.
Did that worry you?
Yeah, definitely. It was. I did pull in the guys for a big meeting and just let them know of the situation. But we were just lucky enough we'd won a couple of big projects, which were able to keep us floating along on those for a while. Which did see us through that, and we've pretty much picked right back up now. So it's just really good.
That's great. And so no need to consider the JobKeeper packages or anything like that. It's just all.
No, we didn't have to, which was really good. We were able to keep afloat. We kept our revenue up enough to not need the JobKeeper stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And,
I was going to say, being regional in terms of price, how did your sort of pricing compare to those in the city that you've spoken to?
I think we're pretty we're pretty on par with the city guys. I've noticed my hourly rate is less than most of the people I've spoken to in the city. You know, for standardized pricing, like, you know, back-to-back installs and stuff, I'm pretty close to what most of the guys charge in Adelaide. I've noticed I am a fair bit cheaper than some of the other competition around here. You know, I'm very happy with my pricings and my customers are happy, so I don't see any need to increase them or anything like that.
Yeah.
Do you have your own Sparky on board, or?
Not on board. We use electrical contractors from local businesses around, which do all of our electrical work. It is something in the future I'd like to consider, but you know, my friends here that run their own electrical businesses are really good, and they do me a pretty good deal, so it makes it pretty handy.
Yeah, sure.
Before we hit record, you were saying about you're based in Streaky Bay, and you work a lot out of Ceduna, and you're there at the moment. And just tell us about the relationship you have with Betta.
So would have been probably 2.5 years ago, maybe 3. One of the owners here of the Betta Home Living, you know, met me up. I had to buy one of my first air conditioners off him, and he said, "Look, we sell air conditioners here in store. We're struggling to find a guy that wants to install them for us, because, you know, sorry, they usually, you know, offer the supply and install package like most of the retailers." And I, at the time, you know, I was relatively new into the business, so I took it on board, and since then it has just gone bananas. It's been a really good relationship with us. You know, they take most of the supply side and we do the install side, and it's helped both of our businesses grow a lot. You know, I think over the last couple of years, you know, Betta's seen 400% growth in their sales with the air conditioning, and we've doubled our workload. So it's really good for both of us, and it just means 2 small businesses get supported in the town. All of our other competition buy their air conditioners from Adelaide, which, you know, doesn't put any money back into the community. So we source all of our air conditioners from Betta, which is really good. And you know, people in town really love that we support local, and they support us. And
they supply your commercial side of things?
So that was the hardest part at first, was the commercial side, because they're a retailer, but now they've opened up their own commercial side for us specifically. So now when we do the commercial tenders, they're able to do the supply side for our commercial, and then we just buy them directly off them.
Yeah, right. And predominantly Fujitsu here?
Yeah, mainly. We do Mitsubishi Electric as well. And for the more cost-effective customers, there's, you know, a few other brands that we do offer, Panasonic, etc. And we try and stick to the major brands, just because out here, you know, 1, warranty issues, and 2, we have a lot of salt in the air, I guess, and it does eat away at the cheaper units quite quickly.
Do you guys use any coatings or anything like that to try and?
So when we do jobs on the foreshore and stuff, like for example the foreshore project, all of those 11 air conditioners have been treated with corrosion protection. Some customers obviously can't afford that, so they stick to not worrying about it. We do it all on all commercial jobs. We definitely do it.
Is that Blygold or?
So we use Blygold for all of our packaged and larger split systems. Then our small domestic split systems, we use a product from Actrol.
Right. And do they have what I'm trying to say? They have a workshop up in Ceduna, Blygold. That's what I was trying to get at.
No. So we get them sent to Blygold, and then they pull them all apart. They replace all the screws with stainless screws, etc. Spray them all, and then send them straight back to us. So there is a bit of an extra cost for it in freight. Usually, the freight to them is free, because Fujitsu will deliver your units free. So they usually just get them there. Then we just pay the freight up here, which is not too bad. It's $200 or something for couple of pallets.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'd imagine that working with Betta, you'd have they obviously keep all the stock there for units.
Yep.
Or
Yep. So they've got a shed with our stock. We usually indicate, how many of what we want at one time. Depending on peak seasons and stuff, there will be higher or lower stock. But Fujitsu are really good with supplying our stock. It's usually a 1 to 2 day turnaround time if we do need some.
Mm-hmm.
So we keep all the common sizes always in stock. Then the less common sizes like the 6 kilowatt range and stuff like that, we usually just order in.
Yeah,
cool. What about the refrigeration? Is that coming from Actrol?
All of our refrigeration equipment is predominantly Actrol. Lately, I have been using LJ Ref a lot from Adelaide. He's been really helpful and extremely competitive. So I've been utilising him a fair bit more lately. Yes, his pricing and his customer service is on point. I've used Actrol for the last 4 years just because they're the closest refrigeration supplier to us in Whyalla, and I have a really good relationship with them.
Yeah.
If you had to choose between refrigeration and air conditioning, would you?
Refrigeration, 100%.
Yeah,
refrigeration. I prefer the technical side of refrigeration a lot more. I feel like I learn a lot more than banging in installs, and I love my commercial refrigeration installs. They're a lot more fun. We do a lot of farm work where farmers want cool rooms and stuff built, so we do the complete build from panels to refrigeration. It's really a lot more fun than putting in a
split
5 kilowatt split.
That's right.
And these days there's not a whole lot of excitement in diagnosing split systems. Most of them tell you what's wrong with them, and unless it's a comms error, there's not a whole lot of fun in it. So refrigeration is a lot more exciting for me.
And you'd be using like Wi-Fi controls and so forth for remote access and stuff like that?
Yeah, so we offer the Wi-Fi systems for all of our ducted installs. Customers are absolutely loving them, especially with the remote access when they can turn them on. A lot of our customers travel a lot just like us, and on the hot days it's nice for them to be able to turn that unit on before they get home.
And what about the refrigeration side? Is that using Wi-Fi gear as well?
We utilise a company called Resource Data Management for our remote monitoring. And it's been really handy for, especially, they can remote access all of their refrigeration systems, set manual defrost, set all their parameters from anywhere in the world. It's been really handy. We're trying to get into that side a lot more. We've done probably 5 or 6 installs now. But then for more of the small business side, we use FridgeBot a lot. Customers really love the ease of installation and the user access of it.
So I imagine that given the amount of cool rooms and fridges and stuff that you'd be managing, you do quite a bit of after hours work, particularly with hotels and things. Would that be
not as much as I was when I was working in Adelaide, nowhere near. A lot of the customers, if there is a breakdown in the middle of the night, most of them are happy to wait until the morning. It's surprising. I did think when I started this I was going to be working a lot of nights, but it's only in the peak of summer and the odd night that we do get the call outs at night. It's nowhere near as bad as when I was working for a major company in Adelaide.
I suppose people don't want to be paying the extra fees either, do they?
Exactly right. So I mean, if my small local businesses, I don't charge a call out fee if I do, but I look after them pretty well. But it's completely different to Adelaide when it comes to breakdown work.
And do you like being a Fridgie?
At times, I absolutely love it. I love the challenges, and I love being a Fridgie, but it is super stressful sometimes.
Definitely.
I don't know if I was fully prepared to run a business when I first started it, but I'm slowly getting my head around it all. I've made a fair few mistakes when I was early on. I've learned from them now, but it's good. I do like it, and I love being a mentor now, like having an apprentice, that's probably the most rewarding part.
Yeah, well, you must be still young because I can't see any grey hairs coming through yet.
There's a few.
Your beard's still brown.
I turn 30 in July.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're only a youngster.
Oh, I don't feel it sometimes. Bloody hell. No, I've still got a lot to learn refrigeration air conditioning wise, so it's always new to me still.
Yeah,
There's
I
always
think
something new to learn.
It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. There's always something
definitely.
to learn. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, and that's what I love about it. I originally wanted to be an electrician, but when I finished high school, I applied for the pre-voc course. Back in those days, I did the pre-voc course, and when I got there, I rocked up and they said, "Welcome to refrigeration," and I was like, "No, I applied for electrical," and they're like, "No, you didn't." I applied for the wrong course, and so I stuck with it and absolutely loved it. And now I'm so happy I did, because I would not want to be an electrician now after working with them for this many years.
And do you like where this industry is heading, or would you like to see some changes?
That's a tricky question. I don't like where it's heading domestically wise. I think even out my way, we have a lot of the Cert 2 installers, and the work you see is pretty appalling. When they've had no training. A few of my mates have done the Cert 2 courses, and the things they've told me that they teach you in there is not great, but it affects the quality and the from business and the pricing view of it. But we've had so many customers that they've had their warranty void because of the install, and I'm the one that feels the guilt because I'm not allowed to repair it under warranty, and you sort of feel like you're a little bit to blame, even though it's not your fault.
Yeah. I think everyone sort of feels that pain at the moment, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, unless you've got anything else you want to ask?
No, I think
Justin?
all good.
Yeah. All right. Well, if that's the case, mate, it's time to move to the next round. All righty. Yeah, here we are. So keeping it cool in the hot seat round. Justin, are you ready for this?
Sure.
All right, Brad, you can start the clock now.
I'm starting it now.
Okay, Justin, NRL or AFL?
AFL.
Favourite team?
Crows.
Beer, wine, spirits, or all three?
All three.
All three. Any favourites in there?
Whiskey, vodka, tequila, and red wine.
Is that a regular Friday night for you?
Yeah, it can be. Depends on how my week's been.
Yeah, that's right.
Justin, if you could change your name, what would it be?
Jeez, that's a bloody hard one. I don't know. I like my name. I got a lot of jokes with my name.
We'll pass that one. If you're on a desert island with one person, who would it be?
Ooh, my dog.
Your dog?
Yeah.
You didn't say your girlfriend.
Probably should.
Are you a morning person, yes or no?
Yes.
If you could be an animal, what would it be?
A dog.
A dog? If you could have one superpower, what would that be?
Probably to fly.
Everyone says.
Nice. When it comes to toilet paper, do you fold or scrunch?
Fold.
You're a folder. What's the creepiest thing you'd say whilst passing a stranger in the street?
That's a hard one.
You smell nice.
Oh, hell no!
Is that with a...
Yeah, a bit of a lisp.
I'm assuming it's a female then.
That could be really creepy.
Yeah,
all right, if you're the PM, what's the first thing that you would change?
Drop the price of pints.
Yeah.
Good call. Is a hot dog a sandwich, yes or no?
No.
What's the strangest thing you've ever worn?
Got to be a footy trip here somewhere.
No, Halloween one year. I probably won't go into that one.
All right. The least sexiest name you've ever heard?
Jeez, Gavin.
Oh, wow. Your favourite swear word?
Fuck.
Good call. Favourite feature about yourself?
Ooh, that's hitting all my insecurities there. It's probably my teeth, I guess.
That's your favourite thing, and what's the least thing?
My big nose.
And Justin Hotchkiss, your porn star name, please.
How the hell do I work that out?
You got Kiss in your surname, so it's got to be something like that.
Now you put me on the spot here. Oh, jeez, porn star name.
First street, first pet.
First street, Manfred Sebastian. So it'd have to be, Manton. I don't know. Jesus, that's very difficult.
That'll do. There's
Good
the buzzer.
try.
There's the buzzer. Jeez, you got through that. Barely.
No, I'm sweating.
Leapt across the lines. Thank you for that.
No worries.
And we just want to say thanks for coming on the show, mate. We really appreciate your time and efforts and answering all those questions. It's not easy to do.
I appreciate it. It's been really fun.
Good on you, mate.
That's cool.
So we'll put a link to your Facebook page and or website in our show notes so people know if they want to get in touch with you. And in the meantime, we'll ask that if you want to come on the show, like I said earlier on, to get in touch with us via social media or our website, airconditionpodcast.com. But in the meantime, until the next episode,
Sayonara.
sayonara. Thanks, Justin.
See you later. Thank you very much.
Mate.
That's all for this episode of the Air Conditioning Podcast. Be sure to stop by at airconditioningpodcast.com to connect with us, as well as on Facebook and Twitter, and join in the conversation. Until next time, stay tuned, stay positive, and stay cool.